Good evening to one and all. Welcome you all to the daily current affairs session brought to you by Ganesh IAS Academy for the date 6th as well as 7th August 2023 for the news which came in Indian Express newspaper. Okay, let's get straight into the today's current affairs session. The first news is government tweaks the Bharat Net by clearing some 1.39 lakh crore for establishing the last mile broadband link. So from the news itself, heading itself, we could able to come to a conclusion that government has tweaked the implementing model of BharatNet so that the last mile connectivity in terms of broadband connectivity will be achieved. So what kind of tweak has been made is Union government right now has approved the remodernizing the BharatNet product, which involving the changes in the implementation strategy. What implementation strategy has been changed is that, like private players like Jio, Airtel and others, government is going to use the local cable operators so that the fixed home broadband service could be established. And since the private players are using the local cable operators to provide the broadband services to the home, government is going to use the village level entrepreneurs who are called as Udamis to take the fiber connection to the home, and the cost will be shared on the basis of 50-50 between the government as well as the village level entrepreneurs. Government will be providing the infrastructure like fiber optics and their connectivity, and from the entrepreneur's job is to operate the fiber connectivity to the home as well as maintain those connectivity, and it will be implemented by Bharat Broadband Network Limited, which was merged into BSNL previous year. So this is what the content of the news is. Content at the crux is like private players who are using the local cable operators to take the fiber connectivity, to take those fiber infrastructure to the homes of the people. Government is going to use the village level entrepreneurs to take the fiber infrastructure to the homes of the people so that the broadband connectivity could be established at each Gram Panchayat. So since the news revolves around Bharat Net project, let's discuss about what is this Bharat Net project is about. It is one of the biggest rural telecom project which is being implemented right now in the world. Its aim is to connect all the Gram Panchayat in the country by providing non-discriminatory access to broadband connectivity for providing, and it seeks to provide connectivity through optical fiber. It seeks to provide connectivity through optical fiber, and it is being implemented from, as I said in the previous slide, by Bharat Broadband Network Limited. The objective is to facilitate the delivery of e-governance, e-health, e-education, e-banking industry and other services to rural India. It is a center as well as state collaboration. How it is center will be providing the infrastructure and also other investment fund, but in the case of state, it will be providing free right of way for establishing the optical fiber connectivity. Free the right of way is that allowing the state's land to be used for the connectivity of the broadband, which is provided by the center through fiber optics connectivity. The entire project is being funded under Universal Service Obligation Fund, and it is the BharatNet project is being implemented under Department of Telecom, that is Ministry of Information Technology and Communication. So let's discuss about Universal Service Obligation Fund. Under new telecom policy in 1999, Department of Telecom introduced the universal service as the one of its objective. What is the universal service? Is that, see, most of the telecom operators are heavily concentrated on urban area. There is the private players are hesitant to enter into the rural market. Why it is that? The implementation of the telecom project will involve huge amount of cost. So to recover the cost along with the profit, it is viable to capture the market of urban area, because in urban area people are mostly literate as well as they have some spending capacity. But in the case of rural areas, the proportion of literate people is very less when compared to urban area, and also the proportion of those people who could able to spend heavily on the telecom services is very less when compared to the urban area. So the private players will be concentrating only on the urban area when compared to the when compared to the other rural areas. So to avoid this and to provide a balance in the terms of operation of the telecom infrastructure, thus universal services means providing every people across this country with access to the telecom infrastructure. This is what the objective of the government under new telecom policy of 1999, and the policy provided that the universal service obligation were to be generated through universal access levy. So the Telegraph Amendment Act 2003 gave the statutory status to USOF, that is Universal Service Obligation Fund. The fund, how it will be mobilized is by levying certain percentage of amount which will be decided by the government in consultation with TRAI on the revenue generated by the telecom licensees, that is telecom service providers. And USOF, the fund, its main purpose is to achieve the objective of government, that is to provide universal service to people across India, particularly rural India. This is what the Universal Service Obligation Fund is about and the aim is about. So the implementing agency of the Bharat Net project is Bharat Broadband Network Limited. It is the special purpose vehicle set up under Companies Act by Government of India. The authorized capital for the network limited is 1000 crores, and it has been mandated to provide to create national optic fiber network in India, and it functions under Ministry of Communication. So what we needed to study further is we should know about National Telecom Policy 1999. What are the reason for bringing this policy, and what are all the objective, and what are all the implementing agency it has created, and what is the current status of those objectives under which the National Telecom Policy 1999 has been created. These are all things which we needed to know. Second is we should know about Digital India Mission, because one of the aim of implementing Bharat Net project is to provide internet access, that is broadband connectivity to the people across India, particularly rural India. Why they wanted to provide a broadband connectivity is that so that people could have ease of access to e-education, e-banking service facility, e-health facility, and other similar social facilities. The Digital India Mission has one of its objective as providing digital service to the people. So we should know about the Digital India Mission as, because one of the vision of the mission is being accomplished by the Bharat Net project. So third is we should know about what is the fiber optics means, what are all the physical properties and the other technical properties. Second is we should know about what is the term dark fiber is about. Fourth is we should know about 5G network. What are all the special feature of this network and what are all the application side of this network? We should know about them also. And what is the difference between 5G network as well as the previous network? So let's discuss about previous question which was asked in relation to information communication technology, which we discussed in the previous slides. As digital illiteracy, particularly in rural area, coupled with lack of ICT technologies, hindered socio-economic development. Examine with the justification. I want those students, please do comment answer point for the question which we are seeing right now on the board from the points which we have discussed in the previous slides. So, and other than the points, if you are aware of me, please do comment the answer point for the question. NASA restores contact with Voyager 2 after 2 weeks of silence. What is the news is about is flight controller of NASA sent a wrong signal to Voyager 2, as a result of which the antenna in the Voyager 2, which is used to send as well as receive communication to and fro from the Earth, has tilted away from the Earth, so that NASA could not able to establish communication with the Voyager for the past 2 weeks. But NASA's Deep Space Network sent a new command to reset the antenna. It worked well, and right now the Voyager started to work and it begins to communicate with the NASA's communication facility with ease. So let's discuss about the Voyager 2. It is the space probe being launched by NASA in 1997, a few months after its twin spacecraft Voyager 1 launched to explore the outer planet of our solar system. It is part of Voyager program, which includes twin spacecraft Voyager 1, as I have said. Third is the objective is to extend the NASA's exploration of solar system beyond the neighborhood of planet to the outer limit of the sun's sphere of influence. Okay, let's discuss about certain important terms related to the universe. Interstellar space. Interstellar space is this part of the space that exists between the stars with some cold particles around them, and heliosphere. It is a region where constant flow of particles that from the sun, called as solar winds, collides with materials from the rest of the galaxy. For example, it is the Milky Way galaxies here means, and the sun inside the Milky Way galaxy there is a star called sun, and it will be emitting solar wind, and once the solar wind crosses the Milky Way galaxy, it will come into interact with another galaxy. That place where the interaction takes place is called as heliosphere. Heliopass is the boundary between the solar system as well as the interstellar medium. Third is termination shock. The solar wind that is released from the sun travels at the high speed of some 300 km to 700 km per second. At one point, the solar wind's speed will get break down because of the because of the solar meeting of the solar wind with the other galaxy's particle. That phenomenon is called as termination shock. Since the NASA used deep space network to communicate with the Voyager 2 to re-establish its communication with Voyager 2. Let's discuss about what is this deep space network is about. It supports NASA and non-NASA mission that explores the furthest point of our solar system. It has 3 ground stations which are spaced equidistantly some 120-degree points. Since there are 3 ground stations which are spaced equidistantly 120 degrees apart, totally it is 360-degree angle, so that it could able to have some holistic coverage, that a signal could be sent as well as received to and fro back from the space. This is to ensure that any satellite in the deep space is able to communicate with at least one of the station at any time. So this is what the news is related to. Let's discuss about what are the further things which we needed to concentrate on. First is we should know about the formation of planet. Why this kind of deep space exploration as well as planetary exploration is being undertaken by the scientists is one of the main objective for all this kind of activities that they wanted to establish a clear fact about how the universe has been formed, how the planets has been formed. So we have to know about the formation of the planet itself. Second is we should know about what is the inner planet as well as outer planet, which are all the planets will come under inner planet, which are all the planets will come under the outer planet. Third is we should know about the Juno mission, the mission which was launched by NASA to probe through the Jupiter planet, and the Parker Solar Probe. From the name itself, we could able to know that the probe is related to the sun. So these are all the other things which we needed to study. Let's discuss the prelims question. Consider the following statement. One minute, there is some technical glitch. Cassini-Huygens orbiting the Venus and transmitting data to Earth. No, the statement is wrong because it is a spacecraft to probe through Saturn. Then second is Messenger, mapping as well as investigating the Mercury. Yes, correct. The statement. Third is Voyager 1 and 2. Right now we have explained about it. Its main purpose is to discover as well as explore the areas which is present outside the solar system. So answer is B, 2 and 3. Bangladesh grapples with outbreak of dengue fever. Right now Bangladesh is struggling to control the outbreak of dengue. It's deadly outbreak since 2000 in Bangladesh country. There is no vaccine right now across the world to prevent or treat the drug. Aedes aegypti mosquito spreads the virus during the rainy season because it thrives well in the fresh water, and during the rainy season it provides opportunity for its breeding ground. So let's discuss about the dengue virus itself. Dengue is a mosquito borne viral infection found in tropical as well as subtropical climates. It is caused when Aedes mosquito carries the virus and it bites the healthy person. There is no specific treatment right now for dengue. There are 4 types of dengue strains: type 1, type 2, type 3 as well as type 4 dengue strains are there. Among the 4 types, type 2 and 4 are considered to be very deadliest type because they require immediate hospitalization as well as immediate care, else there could be a threat to life. And the reason why Aedes mosquitoes carry the dengue fever during the rainy season is that Aedes mosquito breeds in the freshwater, and the rainy season provides the opportunity for the mosquito to thrive in particularly in the rainy season because of the enormous availability of fresh water. Okay, let's discuss about a program which is being implemented in India under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare to prevent these kind of vector-borne diseases. It was launched in 2003-4 by merging National Anti-Malaria Control Program, National Filaria Control Program, and Kala-Azar Control Program. Japanese encephalitis and dengue have also been included in the program later times. So these 5 control mechanism which was implemented separately have been merged under a common program called National Vector-Borne Disease Control Program. And in that National Anti-Malaria Program, which is one of the component being implemented under the program, was initially launched in 1953 to bring down the malaria transmission to a level at which it could cease to be a major public health threat. And the Kala-Azar Control Program, it was caused by intracellular protozoan. It is a protozoan disease, and it transmitted to a man by the bite of female phlebotomous sandfly. It aims to eliminate the program. It implements the program. The Kala-Azar Control Program aims to eliminate Kala-Azar from the country by 2023. And then National Filaria Control Program. It is caused by Wucheria bancrofti, which is transmitted to a man by infected mosquito. It was launched in 1955 mostly in urban area, but from 1994 the program has been extended to rural areas also. Then Japanese encephalitis control program. It is Japanese encephalitis is the zoonotic diseases caused by arbovirus group B and flavivirus and transmitted by Culex mosquito. Government of India has constituted a task force at the national level, which is in operation as well as it reviews the Japanese encephalitis situation, and it controls the strategy that it is required to prevent the further outbreak of the Japanese encephalitis. And it is administered by the entire program has been administered by National Center for Vector-Borne Diseases Control under the Ministry of Health as well as Family Welfare. So what we needed to study further is we have to know about the center, about the National Center for Vector-Borne Disease Control. Second is we should know about other prominent virus, bacteria and protozoan related diseases. Third is we should know about National Health Mission, because it is the program which is being implemented under the National Health Mission, the overall policy, national health policy of the government. Okay, let's discuss the prelims question. In tropical region, Zika virus disease is transmitted by the same mosquito that transmits dengue. Sexual transmission of Zika virus is possible. This was the question which was asked in 2017 prelims question. In this, both the statements are correct because the mosquito which is responsible to transmit dengue to the person is also the responsible for transmitting Zika virus. Second is sexual transmission of Zika virus is possible. So the answer is C, both 1 and 2. UPSC mains question. Stem cells therapy is gaining popularity in the world to treat a wide variety of medical conditions including leukemia, thalassemia, damage sarnia and several burns. Describe briefly what stem cell therapy is and what advantage it has over other treatments. 10-mark question which was asked in previous year mains question. Please do comment answer point for this question also in the comment section. As US Federal Reserve and European Central Bank hikes rate, FPI pull out over 1 billion from India in 7 days. From the heading itself, we could able to know that because of the rise in the interest rate by the US Federal Reserve as well as European Central Bank, to contain the inflation, the portfolio investors has found an opportunity to invest in those high interest rated countries. So they could able to earn extra profit. So they have pulled out some 1 billion FPI from India after the decision has been made by the corresponding central banks. So let's discuss about the foreign portfolio investment. Foreign portfolio investment consists of securities and other financial assets passively held by foreign investors. It does not provide investors with direct ownership of financial asset, and it's relatively liquid depending on the volatility of the market. Example of FDIs are stocks, bonds, mutual funds, exchange traded funds as well as depository receipts. And FPI is the part of country's capital account and is shown in the balance of payment. And then investment of NRIs does not come under FPI. This is the prelims fact. Then in India, foreign portfolio investment is being regulated by Security as well as Exchange Board of India and SEBI. Foreign institutional investor is an institution like mutual fund, pension funds as well as insurance company who make their investment in India. But in India means Indian securities, and then FPI is the allowed in government securities as well as state development loans as well as in corporate bonds. FPI is referred as hot money because it has tendency to flee at a time when there is a signal of some negative whenever there is a signal of trouble in an economy or whenever there is the negative sign in an economy, and FPI is more liquid, volatile and riskier than the foreign direct investment. Okay, but let's discuss about the foreign direct investment. The foreign direct investment is an investment made by a firm or an individual in one country who are present in one country into the business which is present in the other country. FBI lets an investor to purchase a direct business interest in foreign country. FDI has been a major non-debt financial resource for the economic development of India, and foreign companies are directly involved in day-to-day activities as well as decision making of the country. Not the country, of the company in which the direct investment has been made. So that another advantage of the foreign direct investment is that knowledge, skills as well as technology will also be bought along with the investment. Foreign direct investment comes to India on two routes. One is automatic route, another is the government route. So what we needed to study further is we should know about what does the term equity as well as shares means. What is the difference between both of them? Second is we should know about bonds as well as debenture, and also what is the difference between them. Third is what is the domestic institutional investor is about. Okay, we have studied about foreign institutional investors. Then what is this domestic institutional investors is about? Then we have to know about the term SEBI and its function, and also the responsibility why the SEBI has created. Okay. Let's discuss about the previous year prelims question. Both foreign direct investment as well as foreign institutional investors are related to investment in the country. Which one of the following statement best represent an important difference between both of them? FII helps bring better management skill and technology, while FDM, that is foreign direct investment, brings capital, only brings capital. No, it is other way around. FII only brings capital, while FDM, that is FDI, will bring along with capital both skill as well as technologies. FII helps in increasing capital availability in general, while FDI only targets the specific. Yes, let's hold this statement. Third is FDI allows only into secondary market. In general, while FDI only targets a specific sector. No, FDI is allowed for in the primary market itself. Whenever there is a word called only or any other extreme statement, we need to be very careful. You have to take a pause and then think about the statement very deeply. Fourth is FII is considered to be more stable than FDI. No, right now only we have studied both FDI as well as FII are very volatile and riskier than FDI. So the statement is B is correct. Explain the meaning of investment in an economy in terms of capital formation. Discuss the factor to be considered while designing a concession agreement between public entity and private entity. UPSC mains question, 15 marks. Please do comment answer point for this question also. One of the benefit of the session is that we could able to see how the news is asked, as well as what are all the previous year question that was asked in relation to the news, because it will be very good practice, because while we are studying the current affairs, we should also have a look at the previous year question also, so that we could able to have an idea about how the questions are asked, and so that we could able to realign our preparation, and we could focus our area of concentration in the newspaper by using the previous year question paper. And by using the newspaper, we could able to know how the question might be asked by analyzing the previous year question paper. China blocked water cannoned military boat in South China Sea, says Philippines. Philippines accused China's Coast Guard for blocking and water cannoning a Philippines military boat in South China Sea. About South China Sea, we all know that the South China Sea right now is the hot topic across the world. The South China Sea issue has been a long prevailing between China and other countries around the South China Sea area. The immediate tension could be pointed out to presence of Chinese boat in the areas which are claimed to be owned by Philippines. The area comes under the exclusive economic zone of Philippines as well as China. Manila here means the Philippines capital. Large diplomatic protest over the incessant deployment, prolonged presence and illegal activity of China's maritime assets and fishing vessels in the vicinity of Titu Island in the South China Sea. China has built a mini city with runways, hangars, surface to air missile in the Subi Reef, about 25 km from Titu Island. Countries party to this disputes are China, Brunei, Taiwan, Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia and Indonesia, etc. So this is what the dispute right now across the South China Sea is about. Why the South China Sea is being disputed is because of its natural resource, and also it is acting as a strategic trade route, because every country's nearly 2/3 of global GDP's trade is being taking place through this route only. And for India, how it is important for India is that nearly 50% of our import as well as export is happening through this route. So it is strategically very much important for India also. So that's why India is having a interest whenever there is a South China issue has been raised. Significance of South China Sea is that it has n number of natural resources. The sea is said to be a major natural resource because it is a source of about 10% of the country's fishery, which makes it an essential source of food for hundreds of people. And this is also a major reason why people from different countries are claiming their rights over sea. And as I said, it is the major area for trade route. This is the reason why the China is vehemently using its muscle power to gain control over South China Sea. Okay, let's look into the history of the dispute. In 1982, UNCLOS, the United Nations Convention on Law and Sea, was adopted and signed. So it formalized the maritime resource claim in the international law. At this time, no fewer than 6 government has laid claim to the disputed Paracel as well as Spratly Island in the South China Sea. By 2016, this reclamation has resulted in 3 military-grade mid-oceanic airfield that sent shockwaves across the world, provoked in part by China breaking its own pledge in order to militarize the island. Contesting the claims over island. And the Paracel Island claimed by China, Taiwan and Vietnam. The Spratly Island are claimed by China, Taiwan, Malaysia, Vietnam, Brunei as well as Philippines. The Scarborough Shoal is claimed by Philippines, China and Taiwan. These are all the major islands which is distributed by different countries. In a historic decision in 2016, an international tribunal in The Hague has ruled against a part of China. So this brought a sunrise to the Philippines, but China rejected the authority of the tribunal and its findings. And in its ruling, tribunal considered South China Sea to be semi-enclosed area as defined by the United Nations Convention on Law and Sea. What is a semi-enclosed area is about is a body of water tightly or largely contained by land features. Right now, even after the verdict has been given by the International Tribunal against China, China is not obeying it, and it is claiming the entire South China Sea because of two reasons. One is natural resource, which we have seen. Second is the trade route. So that is the reason why whenever India goes, not only India, major countries, those who are opposing the China, having one of their foreign policy as to obey the international law as well as international judgment in their foreign policy document. It is indirectly saying that China is not obeying the international law or international decisions. Okay, let's discuss about prelims question. Which one of the following statement best reflects the issues with Senugu Island sometimes mentioned in the news? It is generally believed that they are artificial inland made by the country around the South China Sea. Japan and China engaged in the maritime dispute over this island in the East China Sea. A permanent American military base has been set up there to help Taiwan to increase its defense capabilities. Though international Court of Justice declared there is no man's land, some Southeast Asian countries claim them. Answer is D. It is the island which is present in East China Sea and is right now in a dispute between China as well as Japan. UPSC mains question. China is using its economic relation and positive trade surplus as a tool to develop potential military power status in Asia. In the light of this statement, discuss its impact on India as its neighbor. 10 mark question. I want those students, those who are watching the current affairs session online, please do comment answer point for the question which you are seeing right now on the board, so that we could able to enrich our viewpoint and could able to learn from each other and we could able to grow as a whole. So please do comment answer point for the question which you have seen right now on the board, and also to the previous question which you have seen while we are discussing. So thank you students, please do comment, like, subscribe and hit the bell icon so that you could able to receive the daily notification in relation to the daily current affairs session and also in many other important newspaper session or current affairs session that will be brought to you in the current future by Ganesh IAS Academy. Thank you.